What's up, traders? Welcome back to the Rich Spirit channel for another weekly forex analysis. I'm here guys to show you something. It is the beautiful entrance of the old city. This is Tallinn, Estonia. So I'm traveling back to Bulgaria and this is where the journey starts. So I went by bus to the capital of Estonia and this is what we see at the entrance of the old town. So you can see a lot of old buildings everywhere, a lot of people. It's full of people actually. So I'm gonna have a walk and watch the news from here. Today we have the FOMC, so let's see what is going to happen. So I'm walking here around the old city. As you can see, this is just the entrance of the old city. You can see an ancient walls here where was the border of the town or the city of or the capital. I'm not sure about the history, but it's a pretty massive, very beautiful place. So I'm gonna show you a couple of places and later we can talk about the forex setups. A very beautiful places we can see here, and it's all magnificent during the summer. So right now guys, I'm heading towards to the cathedral. I'm gonna show you that and later we're gonna check the forex charts. So let's get moving. So here we go guys, we are heading to the cathedral and I think it's absolutely magnificent. Check this out. The vibe here is just amazing. All these little streets, this architecture, I think is just perfect. Hello traders and welcome back to the YouTube channel for this weekly forex analysis. As you can see, here it is absolutely sunny. It's stunning weather. I'm back in Bulgaria, so back home. I'm very happy to share this with you. And in this quick video guys, we're gonna make the weekly forex analysis. It's full of crazy moves right now there in the market, so let's get prepared, let's make some motherfucking money and stay sharp guys, because I'm gonna show you crazy setups right now. So let's get back home and let's make what we came here to do. Okay traders, welcome back to the charts. We're live from Bulgaria and in this video guys, we're gonna make the weekly forex analysis. So there are crazy setups. Stay tuned until the end of this video. So we are gonna start with the EURUSD like usual. And right now you can see the 4-hour chart. I'm gonna switch to daily now, but first let's talk about this triangle which I explained in the previous video. So from this area of support, I expected price to continue go up higher. Why? Because on the daily you can see that we have a massive rally, bullish rally, then sort of a correction move, and the next logical thing to do when we're in an uptrend is the price to continue go up higher. This actually what happened the last week. Price first broke the borders of the triangle and continued back bullish. So currently we are at resistance, the resistance around 1.1. So let's mark this on the chart. Actually 1.1 is a little bit higher, so 1.9700, 09700, and that is a good resistance. So first, in the beginning of the next week, we can see some sort of a pullback to the downside, and this would be healthy for the price to accumulate more buyers and finally break out and chase the next resistance zone, which is in our case here 1.11 for the euro. And this is what I expect to see. Oh, what did I do? Let's go back. and see once again. So let's delete everything unneeded. So currently on the 4-hour chart, as you can see, price have stopped at this resistance, but it can very easily get broken and we to continue up forward. Why? Because we have the descending triangle pattern, so we expect at least such a big move to the upside. And as you can see, only the half of the move have been reached, so price can easily go back higher. So if we get a pullback to these previous highs, or let's measure the Fibonacci levels and see from the last impulse here, or it can even be placed from the beginning of the trend, we can expect a pullback to the 38 point zone, and from there we do see some bullish push and a new breakouts. Of course, price can go back much lower, for example, to this previous support, and we can reach that area too. And when we have that, if price respects the level, then we will have the multiple bottom pattern, which means that if price breaks these next highs, we can expect a huge move to the upside. So these are the scenarios that I'm watching for the next week. We had a great week last trading session, so let me explain you a few things. So first, I wanted to buy from this area and go back bullish with the price, but I chose another pair. So this is the GBP USD. Let's switch to it. So here is the famous, actually not that famous pattern, but it is the expansion wedge. So it's sort of a flag pattern, or it's a wedge. So after we break out from the wedge, we expect a move nearly as big as is the size of the whole pattern. So let's measure this thing up, place it after the breakout. So we expected the price to continue back to this previous resistance. Okay, and this is exactly what happened. This is also a setup which I have shared in my Facebook profile. So if you don't have it, you can check it on my YouTube channel. There is the link on the right. So that is it. I took this trade, bought somewhere here, these two levels. One trade was from here somewhere, and the next trade was from here. So price firstly broke above, reached the 60% of the target, and then started slamming back down during the I believe the PCI news, so the inflation news and stuff. Also there was the rate hikes about the US dollar getting a check from the Federal Reserve, so they started speaking about rate hikes, and this drove the price back down. So I closed some of my positions somewhere here, but on the next day I started buying again from this consolidation, and luckily price went back bullish. So why did I bought? Because on the daily chart you can actually see that we had a massive bullish candle. It didn't even close bearish, so we were still bullish overall. And also on the weekly, if we check out the weekly chart, we also spoke in the previous video that we have broken a very important resistance area. So now this resistance area turned into support, and this is what we see, a super bullish move. So what we can expect for the next week, again, we can have a little bit of a pullback like on the euro, and just go with the flow, go with the trend, and continue buying this pair. So if we see something like this and price corrects a little bit, well, here on the 4-hour chart I will show you a great level where we can add more buys and look for a new higher high. So if price pulls back, we buy, first target the previous high, and the next target a little bit higher, so the new higher high. And that is what I expect for the GBP USD. If something scary happens and on the weekly chart we go back and close below this area of support, then we might stop for a while with the buys, and maybe something will change and we have to look for bearish setups. If price, for example, makes some sort of head and shoulders here, and then maybe we have to start looking for bearish setups. But before that, price is still very bullish, so I'm overall bullish on this chart. Now let's move to the next chart, guys. Let's check them one by one. So we have the Euro USD currently in a consolidation. As you can see, this is the green box. So we expect or to break out from the downside or from the upside. And wherever the case is, we'll be prepared, because after such a breakouts, we can expect a move nearly as big as is the size of the whole consolidation. So we can, if price breaks bullish, we can get back to this previous resistance. If it's bearish, then of course we can go much lower. And let's see where is the next support. So here we have a strong support, so this is a perfect target if price continue go back bearish. But in this case, I don't like very much this chart. It's still very choppy and we need some time to accumulate more sellers or buyers. So for now, I expect price to just continue going back and forth between this range. So this is what I expect for this chart, guys. Let's move to the next one. We have EuroCAD. There was some similar situation, so let's go back to the daily. Yeah, here is your consolidation. Currently we are breaking higher, and I expect more of a bullish continuation in the upcoming weeks. So we can wait for a pullback to this previous resistance, now support, and wait for the price to give us some bullish signals where we can go with the trend and continue to take bullish trades. And in this case, the next target are these previous high and this green resistance. So if this thing happen, you can trade this. Yet not the best actually signal, because in this case price can make just some sort of a flag, continue for a while, finally breaks bearish, and then we can expect a bearish continuation. But for now things are more on the bullish side for the Euro CAD. Let's see also the USD CAD, and here on the daily you can see that we're testing this trend line. We have some sort of a triangle here, not the best one, but this is what it is. And if we draw this support line, we can still say that we are above the support. So maybe if the bulls come again strong in this week, after this pullback, we can see another bullish moves and finally price to get back to these previous highs. But I'm not very confident about this current setup. Overall, we have broken very strong structure, so for now price is looking bearish. The weekly chart, you can also see it closes with a strong rejection, so we have the pin bar, and if the next candle is again bearish, we can expect a further bearish continuation. What about the USD CHF? Very choppy chart. I told you that I don't want to touch this chart for now, so I will skip this pair, but overall you can see the price is still moving in a bearish way. So let's move to the USD JPY, and here is the 1 hour chart, but we don't need that so much, so let's switch to daily. And as you can see, we are back to a very attractive area, guys. And if somehow price still here shifts from bearish to bullish, we have the bullish trend, so we can easily buy from this zone and wait for the price to go back to these previous highs. or even to create a higher high and chase some previous highs in the past. And that is a nice setup, even though here we see some very strong rejection. Price may even push a little bit more to the downside and meet this support level, which is what I think will happen if the dollar continue to lose strength. Let's also see the euro JPY, because if the JPY is getting strong against the dollar, let's see, we would be strong enough against the euro. So what we are currently seeing is that yes, price is going bearish, but just a little bit. So euro still is very strong. I showed you the previous chart, and this is actually the last markup from the last week. So I told you that if we see price pulling back to this previous support, there is an interesting level where we can look for buy opportunities. And actually, if the USD JPY continue to fall, it will be much faster and much stronger than the Euro JPY. Because if the dollar falls, then the euro will be strong. So it will be strong also against the JPY. So here the pullback will be much smaller, probably to this area of support right here. And here, if we see enough of a bullish signals, we can go and continue with the trend, so the bullish trend, and look for buy opportunities. This is what I see on this chart for now. Now, let's see some other pairs, guys. We have the OD USD here, pretty choppy market, but we actually have respected this important support area. We also have a double bottom here, so if price breaks above this high, then we have the double bottom in place, and price will probably continue to this next resistance. So this is something interesting that even I can take, but also it can price can continue in this range right here. So let's mark it up. It can continue up and down between these borders until finally it breaks out, and when it does, that is where we come with the trades. So that's it for this market, guys. Now let's switch to the indices, and we have the US 30 and the NAS 100. So currently price is back to this support, so we can expect a bullish push again back to this previous resistance, or if it breaks, then we have the double top, and probably price will continue to these previous lows. And this is actually a nice target, because we also have a support area there on the daily chart. Let's zoom it out so you can see. Here I will delete some old pictures, some old markups to clean our chart, and we'll place the support and resistance levels, which are very important. Here, by the way, we are seeing rejection from a very important resistance area. If we go to the weekly, you can see that this area is a very strong supply and demand zone. So probably I see it like this for the next week, unless we find some support here on 33,700. We'll probably continue bearish. So let's see, what do we have here. Also, I want to clean my chart just like this, and see that on the weekly we are also currently at important resistance area. So if price respect this area, we can see a nice pullback, probably to this previous level and this previous high. And that would be interesting, because there we can look for bullish opportunities. And I'm telling you, serious, if the price continue with the bullish trend that we're seeing the last weeks, we can catch a very strong move to the upside. If we break this resistance, we can go back to the previous ultimate high and maybe even create a new higher highs, but that is way up in the future. For now, we are currently at a supply and demand zone, so even price can find some support here and continue go back bullish. So this is also an option. Let's see what the market will give us. We also have gold. Let's check it out right now together with you. And here I have some very interesting moments to share with you. So I was trading gold, as you know from the previous video. So I traded this consolidation. After the breakout, I expected a move as big as is the size of this whole consolidation. So this is what I did. I started selling from here and took profit just at this bottom, which was a very nice trade. But now let's go to the daily chart. Okay, so we have a little bit of support right here, and if we go to the weekly, you can see that this was also a support and resistance, or a very important area in the past. So you see all these lows, these highs right here, and very important level. So currently we have two weekly rejections. So probably the next thing that price should do is continue go back bullish. Okay, this is what I expect. Also, we have a strong bullish candle on the daily, and on the 4-hour chart you can see the famous head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so here is the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and we should expect a move nearly as big as is the size of the head, right? But I usually trade this pattern very often, but I don't recommend for you to trade it right now. Why? Because we have a strong resistance area right here, and we also have the downtrend on the daily chart. So you see price can easily continue with the trend bearish and start chasing this previous support and the one right here. So be careful with the gold, guys. Don't hurry up with the buy positions. This is what I see. Of course, price can respect this pattern. So let's measure the size of the head. Move to the 4-hour chart. Okay, let's say price makes this bullish move. Okay, it's possible. It's possible the price to start reversing from this area. So we have multiple highs right here, and also it can reverse from the first little supply right here. So be careful, maybe take a small profit on these head and shoulders. That is what I would like to recommend to you. I'm overall bearish still on gold. Yet, if we start breaking these resistances, start making new higher highs, then I will change my opinion and I will be looking for bullish trades. But for now, this is what we have. Anything else, guys? If you want to check some other charts, some of the secondary pairs right here, or something else, just write it down in the comments so I can check it on the next video. Now I will end with oil. So this is the crude oil, the US oil, and what we can see is this triple bottom pattern. So now what we need to do is wait for the price to break these previous highs, and if it does, let's say for example with a breakout and a pullback for a retest, then we should trade this whole triple bottom pattern. So you take the size of the pattern, you apply it after the breakout, which potentially will be here, and we expect to take profit somewhere here. So in this case, I'll be looking for take profit around the $80 because it's a round number, and we also have this resistance right here. Or you can take the the full target and even a little bit higher to this previous high. But I personally would take profit somewhere around the 800s. Or you can just wait here and see how price will react. If it starts rejecting, you can close your profits. But if it continue go bullish, so breaks this round number, you can take profit somewhere around this previous high. So this is what I expect. If, again, I repeat, if we break this 74,500 area. So then only we will have the triple bottom pattern confirmed. So that's it for this weekly forex analysis, guys. I wish you to have a successful trading week and everything best. I'm now back in Bulgaria. I'm crazy about the upcoming days, so let's get the money. Let's get back together with the friends, with my traders, with my partners, the team. So let's get it. And peace.